The Committee of Finance is hereby called to order. Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call, please?
Senator Marvin A. Blyden. Senator Blyden, present. Senator Samuel Carrion. Senator Carrion, absent. Senator Dwayne M. DeGraff. Senator DeGraff, absent. Senator Donna A. Fred Gregory. Senator Fred Gregory, absent. Senator Javon E. James Sr. Senator James Sr., absent. Senator Janelle K. Serow. Senator Serow, absent. Senator Kurt A. Viale.
Here.
Senator Viale, present. Mr. Chair, you have 2 present, 5 absent.
Any correspondence, Madam Clerk?
No, Mr. Chair.
You may proceed. Oh, you may proceed and read. You may proceed and read the agenda into the record.
The Committee on Finance Fiscal Year 2022 budget hearing for Wednesday, July 21st, 2021 at 9 a.m. in the Earl B. Otley Legislative Hall, Charlotte Amalie, St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. The Committee on Finance will receive testimony on the proposed fiscal year 2022 executive budget for the government of the Virgin Islands of the United States. At 9 a.m., Office of the Lieutenant Governor. Invited testifiers, Monica Williams Carbone, Esquire, Chief of Staff. At 1 p.m., the Department of Health and the Virgin Islands Board of Nurse Licensure. Invited testifiers, Justa Encarnacion, Commissioner, Department of Health. Carmen Vanterpool Romney, Territorial Executive Director, Virgin Islands Board of Nurse Licensure. Mr. Chair, this concludes the reading of today's agenda.
Thank you so much, Madam Clerk. I'd also like to welcome Senator Carla Joseph. Thank you for joining us. And Senator Noble Francis and St. Croix, thank you for joining us. Good morning to the people of the Virgin Islands. Good morning, colleagues. Good morning to the testifiers. Today before us, we have the Office of the Lieutenant Governor. And this afternoon, we'll have the Department of Health and the Virgin Islands Board of Nurse Licensure. I'm going to begin by allowing the team to put the name and title on the record, the individuals who are here in the well, and then we'll proceed to those individuals who will be participating virtually. So we'll begin with you, with Attorney Cabo.
Good morning. Monica Williams Carbon, Chief of Staff for the Office of the Lieutenant Governor.
Thank you so much. Next.
Good morning. Claudette Farrington, Director of Business and Financial Management.
Next.
Good morning. Ira Mills, Tax Assessor.
Thank you.
Good morning. Gwendolyn Hall Brady, Director, Division of Banking, Insurance, and Financial Regulation. Good morning.
To those who are participating virtually, beginning with Mr. Laird and then go straight across.
Good morning, Brent Laird, Tax Collector.
Next.
Good morning, Dolace McLean, General Counsel.
Next.
Next.
Can you're gonna have to speak up, those that are using the one device.
Good morning, Shani Penny, Virgin Islands State Health Insurance Assistance Program Director.
Thank you. Next.
Good morning, Fishman Dorset, Supervisor of St. Thomas St. John Passport Division.
Next.
Good morning, Chris George. Good morning, Chris George, JS Administrator.
Next.
Good morning, Erica Dover. Good morning, Erica Dover, Recorder of Deeds Director.
Next.
Good morning, Denise. Good morning, Denise Johannes, Director of the Division of Corporations and Trademarks.
Next.
Good morning. Good morning, Laura Bedminster, Assistant Director, Division of Corporation and Trademarks.
Next.
Good morning. Good morning, indeed. Assistant Director, Division of Banking, Insurance, and Regulation.
Okay, we are not hearing you. Can you get closer to the device? We heard the next team pretty clear, but you came in very choppy. Repeat.
Good morning, Glendina Matthew, Assistant Director, Legal Counsel, Division of Banking, Insurance, and Financial Regulation.
Okay, that's much better. Next.
Good morning, Barbara Acoy, District Supervisor of Passport, St. Croix Division.
Ms. Acoy, how are you?
I am wonderful, and you?
I'm good. Next.
Good morning, Shauna Moorhead, Assistant Tax Assessor.
Next. Unmute your device, Mr. McKay.
Good morning. Lance McKay, MIS Division Director, St. Thomas St. Croix.
Thank you. Is that it? Attorney, come on. Was somebody else trying to put the name on the record? Okay, I'm going to need you all to mute your devices now. And you unmute when you ask a question. Make sure that you leave on the camera. Senator DeGraff, thank you for joining us. Madam Clerk, please mark Senator DeGraff as present. Attorney Caban, I'm going to allow you to proceed with your testimony.
Thank you. Good morning, Committee Chairman, Honorable Kurt A. Viale, and honorable members of the 34th Legislature of the Virgin Islands Committee on Finance, other senators present today, as well as the viewing and listening audiences. I am Monica Williams Carbon, Chief of Staff for the Office of the Lieutenant Governor, which is under the leadership of the Honorable Tregenza A. Roach, Esquire, Lieutenant Governor of the United States Virgin Islands. I most respectfully appear before you today on behalf of Lieutenant Governor Roach to present to you the summary of the Office of the Lieutenant Governor's fiscal year 2022 budget request, which includes the budget for the divisions and subdivisions under the statutory jurisdiction and supervision of the Lieutenant Governor. Today, I am accompanied in the legislature's chambers by Ms. Claudette Farrington, Director of Business and Financial Management, Ms. Gwendolyn Hall Brady, Director of the Division of Banking, Insurance, and Financial Regulation, and Mr. Ira Mills, Tax Assessor. I am also accompanied via virtual means by Mr. Brent Laird, Tax Collector, Ms. Dulles McLean, PhD, Esquire, Legal Counsel to the Lieutenant Governor and General Counsel to the Office of the Lieutenant Governor, Ms. Glendina Matthew, Assistant Director of the Division of Banking, Insurance, and Financial Regulation, Ms. Shalma Moorhead, Assistant Tax Assessor, Ms. Denise Johannes and Ms. Laura Bedminster, Director and Assistant Director of the Division of Corporations and Trademarks, respectively, Ms. Erica Dover, Director of the Division of Recorder of Deeds for the St. Thomas St. John District, Mr. Lance McKay, Director of Management Information Systems, Ms. Barbara Acoy and Ms. Kishma Dorset, Supervisors of Passports for the St. Croix and St. Thomas St. John Districts, respectively, Mr. Chris George, Geospatial Information Systems Administrator, and Ms. Shani Pinney, Director of the VI SHIP Medicare Program. The Lieutenant Governor and the Office of the Lieutenant Governor are tasked with numerous statutory duties and responsibilities that are carried out by the many divisions within the Office of the Lieutenant Governor. under the supervision of the Lieutenant Governor, these divisions are a major revenue generator for the territory through the collection of property taxes, premium taxes, franchise taxes, and various licensing, registration, administrative, and filing fees. Additionally, these divisions provide critical and essential services to the members of the Virgin Islands community. Many of these divisions also provide consumer protection services through ongoing public education, outreach, counseling, and in some instances, mediation and due process hearings through a formal complaint process. As a public servant, the Lieutenant Governor endeavors to regain public confidence in the ability of the government of the Virgin Islands to carry out its statutorily mandated duties and responsibilities in order to improve the lives of the members of the Virgin Islands community. This public confidence can only be achieved through transparency, efficiency, consistency, and reliability in the provision of services to the members of the Virgin Islands community. In that regard, I must, on behalf of Lieutenant Governor Roach, publicly commend the very dedicated, experienced, qualified, and competent staff of all the divisions within LGO for their hard work, which made it possible for LGO to meet its statutory mandates throughout this COVID-19 pandemic, and by continuing to serve the members of this community and generate revenues for this government. I note that because of the retirement of staff and the removal of vacancies for a period of time, there are several divisions within LGO that have operated with less than adequate staff. We are now in the process of filling the vacant positions and were recently re-entered into LGO's budget, and we are conducting succession planning to replace employees who are in critical positions and have placed LGO on notice that they are approaching retirement age. The need to hire qualified and competent staff to fill vacant positions is evidenced by the many statutory duties and responsibilities of LGO. A brief overview of the duties and responsibilities of each division within the Office of the Lieutenant Governor is as follows. Division of Banking, Insurance, and Financial Regulation. The Lieutenant Governor, by statute, is the chairman of the Virgin Islands Banking Board, Commissioner of Insurance, Administrator of the Virgin Islands Uniform Securities Act, Administrator of the Virgin Islands Uniform Unclaimed Property Act, and Chairman of the Insurance Advisory Committee. The Captive Insurance Program and the International Financial Services Entities Program also falls within the jurisdiction of the Office of the Lieutenant Governor. The Division of Banking, Insurance, and Financial Regulation is tasked with carrying out two significant legislative mandates. A, to license and regulate banking, insurance, and financial services entities and related service providers that conduct business in the U.S. Virgin Islands, and equally B, to serve as a consumer protection agency by receiving and investigating for possible resolution complaints filed by consumers against any entity regulated by the division. The division also generates a significant amount of revenues for the government of the Virgin Islands through its collection of premium taxes from insurance companies doing business in the territory, licensing fees from banks and insurance companies and other entities that are under the division's purview, securities registration fees, and fines collected from all licensed entities that fail to comply with Virgin Islands law. The Division of Recorder of Deeds. By statute, every deed of transfer of real property or interest therein, and every mortgage or other security for debt that is secured by real property must be recorded with the Recorder of Deeds. Specifically, the Division of the Recorder of Deeds within the Office of the Lieutenant Governor records and files deeds, mortgages, contracts, local and federal liens, releases of mortgages, and other legal instruments relating to the transfer of title and encumbrances on real property. The information collected and recorded is used to maintain legal, reliable, and accurate records of real property within the Virgin Islands, as well as all ownership information for those properties. Consumers who need this recorded information are provided online access to up-to-date information via the LGO website. This recording of ownership information for real property in the territory sets the foundation for the property tax assessment and collection process, the second largest revenue generator for the territory. This division also generates revenue for the government of the Virgin Islands through its collection of stamp tax fees. Division of Real Property Tax comprised of the Office of the Tax Assessor and the Office of the Tax Collector. By statute, the Lieutenant Governor is tasked with overseeing work performed for the assessment of real property, the preparation of property tax rolls and corresponding tax receipts, and the collection of real property taxes in the territory. Through these two offices, the Lieutenant Governor administers and enforces all laws relating to the assessment, levy, and collection of real property taxes, as well as the laws relating to the attachment and sale of real property when taxes for those properties are unpaid and are therefore delinquent. The Division of Geospatial Information Systems. Geospatial information plays a critical role in the territory's infrastructure, particularly in the provision of emergency services and the sharing of geodetic data. The Geospatial Information Systems Division was a part of the Division of Real Property Tax. However, in recognition of the importance of geodetic data to the territory, the decision was made to create a separate division. Since its launching in 2014 by the GIS Division, the Intra-Government Geospatial Information Systems Platform has been used for numerous infrastructure projects and for sharing critical geodetic data with other public and private entities that use geodetic data to provide critical and emergency services to all members of this community. The capabilities of the GIS platform have positioned the Office of the Lieutenant Governor as a Caribbean region leader in the field of geospatial information systems in government infrastructure. The Division of Corporations and Trademarks. By statute, business entities including corporations, limited liability companies, general partnerships, limited partnerships, and limited liability partnerships doing business in the territory are required to register with the Office of the Lieutenant Governor. The registration of these entities is done through the Division of Corporations and Trademarks. Additionally, while this division does not grant trademarks, it maintains a database of federally registered trademarks that are on file with the United States Patents and Trademarks Office. This division also generates revenues for the territory through its collection of franchise taxes, administrator ex officio of the Virgin Islands State Health Insurance Assistance and Medicare Program. The State Health Insurance Assistance is managed on the national level by the Administration for Community Living, Office of Healthcare Information Counseling. Medicare is a national health services program for older Americans. It is a federal program authorized by Congress in 1966 and administered by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid. On the local level, the functions of the SHIP and Medicare programs are carried out by the very dedicated and competent staff of the VI SHIP Medicare program. The goal of the program is to empower beneficiaries to make informed decisions regarding important health insurance and healthcare issues. The Virgin Islands Passport Acceptance Facility. The Lieutenant Governor has the authority to grant and issue U.S. passports. As such, he serves as the Secretary of Passports. As such, he serves as the Secretary of State for the United States Virgin Islands. In furtherance of this authority, the Lieutenant Governor is responsible for designating public sector entities to accept passport applications and to ensure the integrity of passports. The Passport Division within the Office of the Lieutenant Governor is the local agency designated by the Lieutenant Governor to accept all applications for passports filed in the territory on behalf of the United States Department of State Passport Services. Correspondingly, the Department of State's Bureau of Consular Affairs has elected the Virgin Islands Passport Division as a passport acceptance facility, along with more than 7,000 other passport acceptance facilities throughout the United States. The Virgin Islands falls under the Department of State, Bureau of Consular Affairs, Miami Passport Agency in this region. Without this service, persons would have to travel outside of the territory to obtain a passport. Division of Business and Financial Management. The Division of Business and Financial Management is the nucleus of all financial activities for the Office of the Lieutenant Governor. This division provides budgetary support and oversees the day-to-day financial procurement for all divisions within the Office of the Lieutenant Governor, to include facilitating the procurement of supplies and services and centralizing the maintenance of all personnel, time and attendance activity, and financial records. It is also responsible for the overall collection of revenues with the direct oversight of cashier services and the general maintenance and custodial services for LGO. This division plays a critical role in ensuring that LGO is able to perform its many statutory functions. The Division of Management Information Systems provides system management, diagnostic support, and maintenance for all computer and technology systems territory-wide for the Office of the Lieutenant Governor. MIS also works with remote vendors contracted to create and maintain local systems for the provision of services to the members of the public. The MIS division plays a vital role in LGO's commitment to improve the lives of the members of the Virgin Islands community through its accomplishments in automating the services provided by the divisions within LGO. Efforts to automate the services provided by LGO include, but are not limited to, purchasing new up-to-date equipment and computer systems and upgrading the existing computer systems. Many of the online services provided to the members of the community have proven to be an invaluable asset to the office, especially during this pandemic. Legal staff. Though not formally a recognized division within the Office of the Lieutenant Governor, the drafting of contracts and other legal documents, as well as legislation needed for the efficient operations of the divisions within LGO, are done by LGO's legal counsel and other attorneys and legal staff of LGO. This office also works in conjunction with the Virgin Islands Department of Justice to bring resolution to various matters affecting both LGO and the government of the Virgin Islands. Notary services. By statute, all persons who administer oaths and affirmations in the territory must be appointed and commissioned by the Lieutenant Governor. The notary unit within the Office of the Lieutenant Governor regulates and monitors these individuals to ensure that they comply with all applicable laws while acting as public servants. Fiscal year 2021 activities and accomplishments. I will now provide a summary of the fiscal year 2021 activities and accomplishments for the Office of the Lieutenant Governor. It is no secret that the Office of the Lieutenant Governor has been faced with many challenges during fiscal year 2021. COVID-19 exposures have necessitated the closure of divisions within LGO. We continue to work with the Department of Health and Sanitization specialists to protect the health and safety of our employees and the members of the public. Divisions within LGO were also impacted by a breach of the government of the Virgin Islands computer systems, which had a broad impact throughout government agencies. This threat to computer systems around the world has become a norm and is now a critical focus of the National Association of Insurance Commissioners, which recently granted the territory accreditation status, placing us on par with other U.S. jurisdictions in the regulation of the insurance industry. LGO's Management Information Systems Division is working to find solutions to ensure that all of LGO's computer systems are protected from future breaches to the extent that this is possible, given the vulnerabilities of all computer systems to those who have made computer hacking a profession for financial gain. Thanks to LGO's hardworking and dedicated staff who went above and beyond the call of duty, interruption in the provision of services resulting from COVID-19 exposures, the computer systems breach, as well as other challenges, was short-lived. Operations in our Recorder of Deeds and cadastral divisions were temporarily interrupted, which delayed some of the territory's real estate transactions. However, in most instances, there was little to no interruption in services provided by the other LGO divisions, and our offices remained opened. As stated above, LGO is now in the process of filling vacant positions and conducting succession planning to replace employees who are about to retire. LGO continues to strive to improve the way that services are provided to the members of the Virgin Islands community. When we came before you last, we reported that LGO completed the Herculean task of relocating divisions on the island of St. Thomas to Nisky Center. This has allowed all of LGO's service-dedicated locations, except the notary unit, which remains in the main office on Government Hill, to be in a centralized location, providing a one-stop shop location for our customers on the island of St. Thomas. The move has also been a significant cost savings to LGO. A similar undertaking is in process on the island of St. Croix. More specific details will be announced in the near future. In addition to the benefit of centralized services, these moves are also intended to improve working conditions for LGO employees, as we recognize that we have outgrown present accommodations. Despite the challenges and with the dedication of LGO staff, LGO has achieved numerous and mentionable accomplishments. A brief overview of the accomplishments of each division is as follows. Division of Banking, Insurance, and Financial Regulation. As reported last year, the Division of Banking, Insurance, and Financial Regulation was granted accreditation status with the National Association of Insurance Commissioners on December 6, 2019. Accreditation status means that the territory has adopted and is implementing the laws determined by the National Association of Insurance Commissioners, the NAIC, as necessary to conduct efficient and effective financial solvency regulatory oversight over insurance companies. We extend our thanks and appreciation to the Honorable Senator Kurt Viale and to other members of both the 32nd and 33rd legislatures for their involvement in the achievement of accreditation status by ensuring that the necessary laws drafted by the very competent legal staff of the division, in collaboration with the legal staff of the legislature, were adopted by the legislature. The territory's accreditation status will be subject to a re-review in October of this year, during which the NAIC will conduct an assessment to determine if the territory continues to comply with all standards necessary to maintain accreditation. To assist us in continuing to meet the NAIC requirements, we have submitted additional model legislation for which we ask this legislature for its assistance in approving. Of great concern for the Office of the Lieutenant Governor is the capitalization of the Virgin Islands Insurance Guarantee Fund, which will be a crucial aspect of the NAIC's re-review of the territory's accreditation. This fund is necessary to cover losses suffered by policyholders in the territory if their insurance company becomes insolvent and is therefore unable to cover those losses. By statute, the fund must at all times be sufficiently capitalized to pay an amount not to exceed $50,000 for every policyholder who files a legal and legitimate claim against a property and casualty and life and health insurance company that becomes insolvent. Currently, the fund is capitalized at $30 million. However, the initial statute creating the fund established a capitalization amount of $50 million. It is important to note that based on discussions with the NAIC, This $50 million is arguably insufficient to cover potential losses suffered by policyholders. To date, the Virgin Islands Insurance Guarantee Association has paid $8 million from the fund in settlement of insurance claims for the insolvent Real Legacy Assurance Company. We must be mindful that the $8 million paid out to Real Legacy claimants is only a fraction of the amount of money that would have been needed if the company had not already paid 90% of its claims prior to becoming insolvent. The takeaway is that it is imperative that the Insurance Guarantee Fund is adequately capitalized. LGO commends the very dedicated, qualified, and competent staff of the division who, despite the many challenges, accomplished the following during fiscal year 2021 with unmatched acceptance of responsibility and accountability. The very dedicated staff coordinated presentations before the Virgin Islands Banking Board by the territory's 5 local banks regarding their state of the bank report on each bank's operations for year-end December 2020, assisted claimants in researching and paying claims for unclaimed property. The division is in the process of creating a system to manage the unclaimed and abandoned property program. They provided testimony before this legislature regarding the impact that the pandemic has had on the mortgage operations of locally based banks and the housing community, and on the Uniform Residential Mortgage Satisfaction Bill, which requires banks and mortgage lenders to file with the Division of Recorder of Deeds a copy of a residential mortgage satisfaction evidencing a borrower's payoff of a residential mortgage. This legislation will benefit property owners and their future generations, assisting in the process of clearing title to their property, particularly in the event that the owner wants to sell the property. They required each locally licensed bank to develop a COVID-19 response plan. They continued to monitor and facilitate payment from the Insurance Guarantee Fund to claimants of the insolvent Real Legacy Assurance Company. They prepared and distributed public education materials, which can be found on the Office of the Lieutenant Governor's website in English and, in some instances, Spanish as well. They provided guidance to the Virgin Islands business community and educated consumers on the extension of the SBA Paycheck Protection Program and the stimulus program. They prepared and issued numerous authoritative orders and bulletins to provide guidance to the territory's banking and insurance industries, including 2 orders relating to President Joseph R. Biden's recommendation on mortgage forbearances. They acted as mediators in addressing consumer complaints regarding insurance, banking, and other financial services. They conducted research, prepared all legal documents, and represented the division in administrative hearings held by the Office of the Lieutenant Governor to resolve consumer complaints. They established a process for ascertaining the status of Oriental Bank's response to its customers' complaints. They prepared for the NAIC's upcoming re-review of the territory's accreditation status. And as the lead state, in coordination with the Illinois Department of Insurance, they conducted a coordinated examination of Guardian Insurance Company and Echelon Property and Casualty Insurance Company for the examination period as of December 31st, 2019, resulting in the issuance of a financial examination report and financial examination management to Guardian. They continued to monitor and review the financial status of domestic insurers in accordance with NAIC accreditation requirements. They reviewed and approved or denied rate filings of insurance companies. They conducted financial analysis reviews for new and existing entities, processed new and renewal applications for all regulated entities. As part of the NAIC accreditation requirements, they implemented the rules and regulations for the Insurance Holding Company System Regulatory Act, the Credit for Reinsurance Act, and the Corporate Governance Annual Disclosure Act, and they monitored vendors under existing professional services contracts. The Division of Recorder of Deeds. Preserving the integrity of the Virgin Islands real property ownership records is a priority of the Office of the Lieutenant Governor. The records maintained by this division continue to remain secured through systematic and electronic storage updates. In September of 1999, the division commenced the scanning of the historical land ownership records and has made them available to the public electronically through the Lieutenant Governor's Office website. The creator and host of the division's online electronic system continues to safeguard and protect the integrity of the electronic database through its collaborative network of off-site monitoring stations located throughout the United States. Older paper records prior to September 1999 are maintained by the division. The division continues to make all records available to the public. LGO commends the very dedicated and qualified staff of the division who, despite the many challenges faced by this division, was able to accomplish the following in fiscal year 2021. They continue to process deeds and other documents evidencing ownership of real property. They coordinated with e-recording vendors to discuss options for allowing the public to e-file. They negotiated with the vendor that hosts the division's online system to merge database access, and they continue to provide uninterrupted online access to customers. The Division of Real Property Tax. The Division of Real Property Tax, comprised of both the Office of the Tax Assessor and the Office of the Tax Collector, continues to be the second largest revenue-generating government entity for the government of the Virgin Islands, second only to the Bureau of Internal Revenue. The division has begun the implementation of its new billing and collection system. Upon realization of full functionality of the system, this division will be able to better serve the members of this community through enhanced record keeping and document tracking capabilities, resulting in a more consistent, equitable, and reliable property tax revenue generating system. We commend the dedicated, diversely qualified, and very competent staff of this division who continue to perform their various duties and responsibilities, which required daily interactions with the members of the public throughout the pandemic. As anticipated in our testimony last fiscal year, the Office of the Tax Assessor began converting to a new computer-assisted mass appraisal system, which will enhance the assessment appraisal capabilities of the division, allowing it to meet the standards established by the International Association of Assessing Officers, the IAAO, for fair and equitable assessments of real property. This new technology will also make available to the public more comprehensive and reliable information on values and the location of properties throughout the territory. Tax credits for calendar year 2022 tax bills are available for persons who are owners of record and qualifying residents as of January 1st, 2022. Property owners may receive a maximum of 2 credits to include a general homestead credit and one of the following credits if eligible: veteran, senior, or disabled. Another available tax credit, the Class 1 inheritance, is available to individuals who have inherited unimproved property of 5 acres or less and does not include properties donated by gift, purchased, or received through survivorship or otherwise. This credit is also not available for properties with improvements in the amount of $5,000 or more. In addition, we are pleased to share that for tax year 2022, all taxpayers will be able to utilize a multiplier credit which factors household income in determining taxes owed. We believe that this credit will be of particular benefit to taxpayers on the island of St. John. Taxpayers are always encouraged to call the office to inquire about available tax credits and to apply for those credits. The very dedicated and competent staff of the Office of the Tax Assessor continue to serve the Virgin Islands community in fiscal year 2021 by evaluating and re-evaluating residential and commercial properties as a part of the appraisal process, by participating in International Association of Assessing Officers webinars, geared towards enhanced awareness of industry trends and updated standards for best practices of mass appraisal, by attesting deeds allowing property owners and prospective buyers to engage in real property transactions, by conducting intake and processing of tax credits, and by working with other government departments to obtain information needed for the issuance of the tax bills. Office of the Tax Collector, under the leadership of the Office of the Lieutenant Governor, it remains a major goal and priority of the tax collector to continue to enhance the efficiency of and to build on the integrity of the real property tax collection process for both current and delinquent property taxes. We are pleased to report that despite uncertainties regarding the impact that the pandemic will have on collections going forward, total fiscal year 2021 property tax collections as of July 2nd is $25,500,000. LGO recognizes that historically the government of the Virgin Islands has maintained a large receivable of delinquent property taxes. We are now taking the steps required by law to move forward with the collections process leading up to the property auctions to ensure that the process is fair and equitable. Notwithstanding, we must make it clear that Lieutenant Governor Roach, through the Office of the Tax Collector, continues to make every effort to assist delinquent property taxpayers who have limited financial means to satisfy their tax obligations. These persons are provided every opportunity to utilize all available options for paying their delinquent taxes. Throughout fiscal year 2021, the dedicated, qualified, and competent staff of the Office of the Tax Collector continued to serve the members of the public by applying the waiver of all interest and penalties for all property owners through the powers vested in the Lieutenant Governor via Title 33, Section 2494 of the Virgin Islands Code and granted by Lieutenant Governor Roach to the tax collector as announced in press release dated November 13th, 2020. By preparing and issuing to date more than 6,500 property tax clearance certificates, which are required by law to register real estate transactions with the Division of Recorder of Deeds. By providing counseling on all payment options made available to all property owners, by updating real property tax collection records and reconciling accounts to determine taxes owed and issuing property tax status reports, and by establishing installment payment plans with terms of up to 3 years, depending on the amount of the property owner's remaining balance in accordance with the following. A balance of $2,000 qualifies for a 1-year payment term. A balance of $2,100 to $5,000 qualifies for a 2-year payment term, and a balance of $5,001 and above qualifies for a 3-year payment term. No administrative fees are charged for installment payment plans, and a property owner's credit is not adversely affected. Delinquent property owners who enter into an installment payment plan are removed from the property auction process as long as they remain current on their payments. We publicly congratulate the staff of this division. With limited human resources, but with an enduring commitment to serving the members of the Virgin Islands community, they continue to serve the members of the public during the pandemic. The Division of Geospatial Information Systems, known as the GIS Division, is widely known for its street addressing initiative, which is the largest and most important infrastructure project in modern Virgin Islands history. At its completion, every parcel of land in the territory will be assigned an address, and the staff of this division will create a master address repository which will be able to link with other systems, databases, and applications throughout government and service providers that use addresses. This master address repository will play a critical role in 1, saving lives of the members of this community by allowing emergency services providers to be more efficient and proficient in the provision of services, and 2, by enhancing the territory's participation in the U.S. Census, allowing for greater access to federal funds to address the needs of the territory's population and to improve the quality of life for the members of this community. LGO commends the small but very dedicated, qualified, and competent staff of this division for their accomplishments in fiscal year 2021, including the following: the completion of the Street Addressing Initiative Bridge Phase, which extended nationally standardized street addressing to all urban areas in the territory to include Christiansted, Fredericksted, Cruz Bay and environs, and Charlotte Amalie. The next step is the completion of the territory-wide Street Addressing Initiative phase with a total cost of $4.99 million, which will be funded through the Virgin Islands Housing Finance Authority CDBG-DR funding. The staff also received the VIPD's Office of Highway Safety federal grant funding for the purchase of hardware and other equipment for the Geographical Information and Location Data Systems Modernization Project, which includes the Street Addressing Initiative. The division is proud to have established the GIS Division's Critical Infrastructure Data Sharing Program as a cornerstone piece for the USVI Utilities Coordination Group with the Department of Public Works, WAPA, VIA, VINGN, Liberty AT&T, and the Waste Management Authority. This will play a vital role in the success of the implementation of Act 7798, otherwise known as the Call Before You Dig legislation, recently heard before this 34th legislature. The division also provided assistance to various Virgin Islands communities and homeowners associations in naming streets in their neighborhoods, updated the USVI road and estate data on the global OpenStreetMap platform, which is the basis for all global mapping engines like Google, Apple Maps, TomTom, and ESRI. They hosted the GIS Division's public GIS data viewer, also known as usvi.mapgeo.io, which is the most comprehensive website for Virgin Islands land data and most widely used government website, totaling over 7,000 unique viewers per month. And they maintained the division's status with the U.S. Census World Topographic Map and the Open Source Library as the official source for the critical USVI GIS land and road data in the territory. The Division of Corporations and Trademarks. Thanks to the Catalyst system throughout fiscal year 2021, the Division of Corporations and Trademarks continued to service the business community and to collect delinquent franchise taxes, including interest and penalties online throughout the pandemic. LGO commends the very dedicated, knowledgeable, experienced, and qualified staff of this division for their hard work in serving the members of this community in fiscal year 2021 by registering 2,825 new trade names, profit and nonprofit corporations, LLCs, and partnership entities, by reviewing 13,424 annual reports for compliance with the law and calculated applicable franchise tax amounts to ensure correct revenues are collected, by continuing an aggressive Catalyst educational campaign through outreach sessions and presentations, by continuing to engage in outreach to bring in as Catalyst users entities that are not currently registered in the system, by assisting the public in utilizing the Catalyst system, and by conducting research and preparing affidavits and other documents regarding the status of registered entities for submission to the court for proceedings and for use by other local and federal agencies for investigative purposes. The VI State Health Insurance Assistance Program, VI SHIP, Medicare. LGO commends the dedicated and competent staff of the VI SHIP Medicare program for their hard work throughout fiscal year 2021 in ensuring that one of the territory's most vulnerable populations, the elderly, continue to receive the services provided under the program. Despite the challenges presented by the pandemic, the staff was able to continue to educate Medicare beneficiaries about the services available to them, collaborate with the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services for the Medicare Advantage Plans webinar to educate eligible beneficiaries in the territory of the services available with the Medicare Advantage program now available to beneficiaries in the territory. Partnered with the SHIP, National Technical Assistance Center for a virtual Welcome to Medicare fair to assist with their initial enrollment decision, persons who are turning 65 soon or who may become eligible for Medicare because of a disability. They created radio public service announcements informing Medicare beneficiaries of the available preventive and wellness services, and they continue to enroll Medicare beneficiaries into Medicare Part D during the annual enrollment period. As evidenced in this testimony, the Office of the Lieutenant Governor plays a critical role in the collection of revenues and the provision of needed services for the people of this territory. LGO is committed to increasing revenue collections and improving the way services are provided to this community. As always, Lieutenant Governor Roach thanks the members of the Virgin Islands community for their continued support and constructive input regarding the operations of the Office of the Lieutenant Governor and its various divisions. And again, he also extends his heartfelt gratitude and appreciation to the employees of the Office of the Lieutenant Governor, recognizing their continued commitment and service to the government and the people of this territory. The essential role performed by each member of the LGO team in collecting revenues and providing needed services for the Virgin Islands community helps to ensure a better quality of life for all Virgin Islanders. Mr. Chairman, we have presented you with an overview of the fiscal year 2021 activities and accomplishments of the Office of the Lieutenant Governor and its many divisions. We will now present our budget and revenue details and projections for fiscal year 2022.
You may proceed.
Good morning. Claudette Farrington, Director of Business and Financial Management. I will present our budget and revenue details relative to the fiscal year 2022 budget. A breakdown of the actual revenues for our divisions for fiscal year 2020 is as follows. Real property taxes, $65,713,180. Banks, insurance, and financial regulation, $21,221,467. Record of deeds, $12,181,647. Corporations and trademarks, $5,861,650. Financial services, $5,702,046. Passport and notary, $831,975. And cadastral, $240,401, for a total of $111,752,366. The budget for the Lieutenant Governor's Office is comprised of monies from the general fund, other local funds, and a federal grant. The specifics are as follows. The fiscal year 2022 appropriation for the general fund will be distributed as follows. Personnel services, $5,006,645. Fringe benefits, $2,699,055. And other services and charges, $274,639, for a total for the general fund of $7,980,339. The budget recommendation of $5,006,645, or roughly about 63% of the total budget for general fund, will allow the office to be staffed with 110 positions. The amount of $2,699,055 was recommended for fringe benefits, and additionally, the residual amount will be providing funding for rental charges. Tax Assessors Revolving Fund, Fund 2082. In accordance with Title 33, Section 2456A and B, as amended by various acts, the Tax Assessor Revolving Fund was implemented. The operating expense budgeted for fiscal year 2022 for this fund is $500,000. The breakdown is supplies, $67,000, other services and charges, $393,000, utilities, $32,800, capital outlays, $7,200, for again a total of $500,000. In accordance with Act number 6856, the Recorder of Deeds Revolving Fund was implemented. The fund, $200,000 is set up for the fund, and the breakdown is as follows. Supplies, $30,000, other services and charges, $157,500, utilities, $12,500, total of $200,000. The Commissioner of Insurance Administration Fund, Fund 2110. It was created to assist the Lieutenant Governor in the administration of the Division of Banking, Insurance, and Financial Regulation, which was formerly known as the Division of Banking and Insurance. The amount budgeted or projected for fiscal year 2022 of approximately $3 million, specifically $2,999,689, is comprised of $1,985,792 for personnel services and approximately $1 million for fringe benefits. The Financial Services Fund, Fund 2103. On August 12, 2004, Act 6678 created the Uniform Securities Act, Uniform Money Services Act, and Uniform Prudent Investors Act. In short, basically, there are a lot of responsibilities covered by our Division of Banking, Insurance, and Financial Regulation, and this fund addresses funding for those areas. The breakdown, the Act also created a Financial Services Fund, again, to ensure regulatory and oversight responsibilities for financial service activities in the territory, and the allocation projected is $852,767 for personnel services, $376,413 for fringe benefits, $260,075 for supplies, $3,825,126 for other services and charges, utilities $232,500, and capital outlays $160,000. So for this particular fund, the total is $5,706,881. Corporation Revolving Fund, Fund 2076. In accordance with Title III, Chapter 111, Section 3085B, as amended by Act Number 6287, Section 12, the Corporation Revolving Fund was implemented. It was created to assist with the administration of the Division of Corporation and Trademarks. The breakdown for this fund is we're projecting operating expenses of $586,165 and a breakdown of supplies $28,100, other services and charges $539,565, utilities $18,500, and brings you back to the total projected of $586,165. Senator, this concludes the fiscal year 2022 financial presentation for the Office of the Lieutenant Governor. Within the booklet for each division, there are divisional sections where you will see revenues and projections accordingly. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your testimony. Before I go to, and we're gonna have a 7-minute round because there's a lot of questions. So we're gonna go to a 7-minute round. But can you provide us some actuals for the different accounts? So I will start with that. Senators, if you want to write the numbers.
Actuals, repeat, Senator.
Corporation Division Revenue Fund. What's the actuals? And
Okay, you want the actual revenues as of what period?
What's the latest you have?
Okay, so for 2021.
Okay, before you continue, when you're talking to people, you don't forget that they want to hear. Senator Fred Gregory, thank you for joining us. Senator Javen James, thank you for joining us. Senator Francis Heiliger, thank you for joining us. Okay, let's start with Corporation Division Revenue Fund.
Yes, Senator. This is for fiscal year 2021 as of June 2021.
June what?
June 30th.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so for corporations and trademarks, as of June, okay, corporations and trademarks, as of June 2021, $5,774,853.
Say it again, 5 million.
5,774,853.
Okay, that's
corporations and trademarks.
Okay, the tax assessor revolving fund.
Can I go in?
Go in your order, yes.
Thank you. Recorder of deeds, $15,594,944. Repeat it. Recorder of deeds, $15,594,944. Tax assessor, basically cadastral, $288,509. Tax assessor or cadastral, $288,509. Property taxes, $21,348,776. Property taxes, $21,348,776. 1 minute. Next, we have passport, $752,360. Passport, $752,360. And finally, we have notary, $36,665. Notary, $36,665.
Okay, thank you so much for that information. Okay, let's begin with a 7-minute round, colleagues. Senator Blyden, you're recognized.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. Good morning to my colleagues. Good morning to the viewing and listening audiences, staff, central staff. Good morning, Chief of Staff Carbon, and your supporting management team there with you, and thank you so much for that comprehensive testimony. I usually
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. I usually start off with a postal report, but I'm going to start off with your testimony this morning. A lot of information and a lot of questions. Let me ask you, you spoke to the importance of keeping the office in operation because of the amount of revenues you collect. And you spoke to employees who are about to retire, who are at the age of retirement, vacancies, and you also spoke to expertise in terms of folks with a skill set. I didn't hear much about training though, because I know you talked about succession planning in the testimony. When it comes to the many different divisions in your department that collects revenues and you're onboarding individuals, I see you have last year for the fiscal year 21 budget, you had 8 vacancies. This year you have 7 vacancies. How many vacancies do you have right now as we speak?
Which division?
No, overall vacancies for your department. How many vacancies do you have right now?
Senator
Please state your name before you speak for the
Claudette
recording.
Farrington.
Morning.
Your question is the number of vacancies for
Yes.
the office? Okay. Currently, we have 26 vacancies. It's broken down by fund. Some of the vacancies we requested funding under the critical hires. So 13 are under critical hires, 3 are general fund, 7 are under Commissioner of Insurance, and 3 are under financial services. So in terms of general fund, only 3 vacancies. So the number again is 26 overall if you factor in the funding under critical hires.
And that's why I want to go there. And I'm very concerned because I remember last year in particular with all of the different departments who came in front of us, we gave funding for every department when it came to critical vacancies, critical hires, especially IRB and Lieutenant Governor's office because you generate a lot of money. And we did not hold back when it comes to assuring that we provided the funding. Now my question is, in terms of onboarding individuals, how many individuals did we onboard in fiscal year 21, and did anyone leave during that time frame?
Senator, can I respond?
Of course you can respond.
For last fiscal year, for the office of the Lieutenant Governor, all of our vacancies were removed. We did not receive any additional funding. all of our vacancies were removed.
And then might
go ahead.
I add, Monica Williams Carbon, as soon as they were re-entered, which was recently, we have already started to interview persons. There are challenges, I must say, because in a lot of the positions, we require certain qualifications.
Correct.
So there have been challenges with certain, some of the hiring process, but we are in the middle of filling those vacant positions.
Senator Claudette Farrington, we started our general fund with no vacancies. So we had to, I'm sorry, you can hear me? We started our general fund with no vacancies. So we had to wait and rely on persons retiring or resigning in order to create, fill positions. So that's what we were working with at that particular time. However, to continue to respond to your question, we have brought on board 9 individuals. We have had to be creative in deleting and creating to create more positions, and we have managed to bring on board 9 new employees, and we've done promotions as well.
Well, I'm happy to hear that because your department generates a lot of revenue, and we need to assure that those positions are filled, the employees are well trained, and for those positions that kind of hard to fill, be creative in terms of probably training up individual and bringing on individuals below them. Now, let me add, in reference to the position that was removed, did you speak to OMB or anyone else in terms of assuring that you cannot afford to have those positions removed because of the importance of the division and department?
Yes, I just need to make a clarification, Claudette Farrington. All of the positions funded by the general fund were removed. We were able to retain the positions that were under our other 2 funds, such as Commissioner of Insurance, Financial Services, where you'll find the financial services examiners. But like Attorney Carbon, Chief of Staff mentioned, our challenge, we have a challenge in filling some of those positions based on the qualification requirements. But to answer your question, we thought we tried very hard to bring it to everyone's attention that we are revenue generating and we really, really, really need our positions. So somehow it didn't sink in last time, so we really stressed it this time. I'm trying to find the word, Senator.
We hear you.
You get it? You hear me?
We hear you.
Jesus.
We are clear. We understand, and we are on board with that because we understand the importance.
And if I may add, sorry, Senator Monica Williams Carbon, with regards to the training, each division, because we're so varied, has the training given. For instance, in banking and insurance, the NAIC, National Association of Insurance Commissioners, they provide training and we see to it they give us funding and we see that our staff is provided training. For the tax division, with the tax assessors, I mentioned in the testimony the IAAO, they also provide valuable training. And so every division, because they're so varied, every division we do provide training.
And you spoke in your testimony to the significant savings when in the move to Nitzke Center. What's that number in terms of the significant savings with the move to Nitzke Center? What does that number look like?
It was about 100,000.
Annually?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much for that. And Mr. Chair, I don't want to abuse my time, so thank you so much for the time.
Thank you, Senator Blyden. Before I go to the point of inquiry, I just wanted to say that the amount that we appropriated last year was the amount that was sent down by the executive branch. So we didn't decrease, we didn't increase, we just went ahead with the recommendation that was sent to us by the Office of Management and Budget last year. But this year I see that they have included a $900,000 increase for personnel.
This year we were able to put back the majority of our vacant positions. Yes, Senator.
Okay. Senator Francis Heiliger, point of inquiry.
Good morning. Point of inquiry, when you were speaking about positions, I wasn't sure in a specific position you referenced. Did you say that there's a commissioner of insurance position that is vacant or it needs to be filled?
No, I indicated that that particular funding source provides funding for one of our positions that's difficult to fill, financial services examiner position. It's under our Division of Banking, Insurance, and Financial Regulations. So I was using that as an example of they were positions that we were able to retain, and we have been working to try to fill. We're to the point now of actually putting out ads in local papers. Does that answer your question, Senator?
No. Commissioner of Insurance, that is no longer a position that's
It's
available.
a fund. It's not a position.
So that's what I'm trying to understand.
It's a fund.
It's a fund.
It's a fund.
All righty. Thank you.
And if I may, Commissioner Monica Williams-Carvin, Commissioner of Insurance is the actual title via his position of the Lieutenant Governor. He wears that hat.
That's why I was trying to get clarity, because it seemed like you were talking about a fund, but I also know the Lieutenant Governor is the Commissioner of Insurance, so I needed clarity. But go ahead.
Okay,
Thank you.
We thank you so much. What are your actuals for personnel right now, Ms. Harrington?
What are our
Actuals for personnel?
actuals in terms of, let me see if I'm clear.
Up to June 30th, how much have we spent on personnel?
Okay. I think I have to, for general fund, I would have to get that figure for you.
Okay, I'll give you a chance to get it, okay? Senator Joseph, you recognize.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A pleasant good morning, colleagues. Good morning to the testifiers, our listening and viewing audience. As you were listing the revenue generating actuals as of June 30th, 2021, I wondered if I missed scribing some of those actuals. Sure. For instance, I missed scribing the actuals for the banks, insurance, and financial regulation. Did you state that amount?
You're correct. I did miss that. You're correct, Senator.
Thank you kindly. If you would be so kind to indicate.
Thank you for that clarification. Banks and insurance, as of June 30th, 2021, $17,868,952.
Restate it again.
Sure. Banks and insurance, $17,868,952.
Okay, thank you kindly.
And I missed another one.
Yes, you did.
Financial services.
Indeed.
Financial services, as of June 30th, $6,108,198. Again, financial services, as of June 30th, $6,108,198. Thank you, Senator, for that.
My pleasure. Thank you kindly for providing that information. Now, I wanted to skip along to some questions I had in relative to some of the revenue generating estimates that you have been given for this coming year, as far as looking at our actuals and doing just a slight comparative and quick comparative analysis. Our biggest revenue generating item is our real property taxes, correct? And I wanted to understand what is the rationale relative to the estimated revenue generating for the property tax. You have it reduced to $58 million. And actually in 2020, you collected over $65.7 million. And already you have, $21.3 million. What are you seeing is going to is one of the causes for the reduction in your projection and your estimation for property tax?
Senator, I will defer to the tax collector, Mr. Brent Laerdam, for response.
Thank you, Senator. Brent Laerdam, tax collector. In fiscal year 2020, we realized extra revenue from the 2019 fiscal year because the 2019 bills went out late. So that amount of revenue collected in 2020 reflected some $7 million over what our expectations were for that fiscal year. And that's why the high amount in comparison to what the revenue forecast is for 2021.
And how many, you said you sent out how many tax bills? 6,000?
Like 87.
No, I can ask the
I can defer to Mr.
assessor.
Mills, tax assessor, for a response.
No, good morning, Ira Mills, tax assessor. We issue about 86,000 annually tax bills.
86,000. Now, I want to go on the tax because that's the biggest revenue generating here. Now, tell me, relative to your delinquent tax payment, what is the amount of delinquent property tax that is owed to us, the people of the Virgin Islands? What is that amount?
Yeah.
Kindly indicate.
Mr. Laerdam, tax collector, will respond.
Brent Laerdam, tax collector.
Yes.
The amount hovers around $100 million in delinquency, Senator.
My piece. 100 million?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
And how many of those persons who are delinquent have you placed on a payment plan? And the amount?
It varies.
Give your best estimate, Mr. Laerdam, kindly.
Payment plans just really began to take off since the completion of the
Mr. Laerdam,
amnesty.
my time is running and I'm trying to behave here. Okay, with the time. So give the number, kindly please, the number you have on your payment plan and the amount that is owed to the people of the Virgin Islands. Thank you. Owed to the government of the Virgin Islands. Which I look at the people.
For fiscal year 21, we've had approximately 25 payment plans thus far, and I don't have the amount for which that represents.
Mr. Chairman,
But that would be 25 individual parcels.
may we get that information from him? And then the next one I wanted to ask was how many of so you have 25, and how many persons are actually delinquent? You have payment plans and the overall number of property owners who actually owe money to the government of the Virgin Islands.
Brent Laerdam, tax collector. Senator, that number is reflective of the individual parcels and not so much the property owner. There's
that you mentioned in your comment. It's a master plan.
You may ask your final question.
Yes, it was mentioned in the comments regarding a plan that you have implementing with the GIS. I'm not sure what the name was because I have my notes here.
Okay, Senator, go ahead and find your question, and then I'll give you a point of inquiry.
Thank you
So
kindly.
just look for
Thank
your
you.
question.
Thank you kindly, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Laerdam, 2019 property tax collection. What was the amount?
Senator, 2019 property tax collections came in at $46,500,000.
Okay, 46,500,000.
Yes, sir.
Have you developed a plan for the collection of the 100 million outstanding, whether it's the action process or exactly what is the position that the Office of the Lieutenant Governor is going to take?
Yes, sir. We have a plan that we're actively
When are we going to give notice? What
It's-
is the timetable for that?
It's coming, the information.
Sound like a movie?
No. Just yesterday, we discussed about getting the necessary information to issue the notice. And it should be published shortly. And that's for the older years that you are referring to.
Correct.
People who were already provided notice via their, on a yearly basis, you owe this amount. We're going to start with those, and notice will be published. We just obtained the quote, so they will be published maybe within the next month, 2 months.
The owner, the property number, the amount owed, number of years.
Okay, Mr. Laird, the information that's going to be in the notice will be.
Mr. Laird?
Yes, thank you, Brent Laird, tax collector. Parcel numbers, the owner of record, and the amounts owed.
Okay. Senator Francis Heilig, a point of inquiry.
Point of inquiry, Mr. Laird. Could you please share with me the total amount of 2020 taxes that was sent out and the amount that was collected, residential versus commercial? Do you have a distinction between residential taxes collected and commercial taxes collected? Thank you.
You need a minute to get that information, Mr. Laird?
Laird, tax collector.
I will give you need a minute to get it?
Well, I have some of the information, and let me understand clearly. Are you also asking by class?
Yes, residential versus commercial.
Okay. We'll get that information for you, Senator, shortly.
Yeah. Senator Joseph, he's going to get the information
all
shortly.
of it? Okay.
Yes. Senator Joseph.
Thank you kindly, Mr. Chairman. I found my question based on the presentation and my notes. I'm referring, Madam Chief of Staff, to page 22 at the very top, the Master Address Repository. Is there a cost associated with creating, you said you will create a master address repository to link other system and databases. Is there a cost associated with that?
Okay, the master address repository will be created after we complete the street addressing initiative. Once every parcel is assigned, an address, then it will be created. I'm going to let Mr. Chris George, our administrator for the GIS division, elaborate more on that.
Good morning, Senator. Chris George, GIS Administrator. The Master Address Repository will be created. Part of the cost that we are getting via HFA Community Development Block Grant funding, that cost for the Master Address Repository software and hardware will be covered.
Thank you so much. Senator Francis, you recognize? Senator Francis White, please.
From the Office of the Lieutenant Governor's Office. The Lieutenant Governor's Office is really a well-oiled wheel, and I see that in the 2021 actuals that they actually